All right. We're live. Or at least we should be. Here we go. Okay. What's up, everyone? It says I'm logged in. There we go. Put this down a little bit. Yep. Streaming a little bit earlier than normal today. All right. Am I live? I should be. There we go. I am live. All right. Just double checking things. I think we're all good here. Awesome. This perspective. Tiny bit. There we go. Are you guys able to hear me? Hope the music isn't too loud. It should be fine. What's up? D1 and only. What up? We vibing? Yes, we are. By the way, D, I gave Hinano, his I gave him my new, what's it called? OpenSea or MetaMask link. I know I want an NFT that you told me about, and then also him. So I gave him that link. So if you guys want to send them both to that one. Yeah, so like my old account is like fully just gone now. It's fully compromised. Anytime I put any ETH or crypto or anything in there, it just gets instantly drained. So I had to make some new MetaMask accounts and stuff. So yeah, so that's all gone. It sucks because I have a lot of like cool community NFTs like on that old MetaMask, but now if I do anything on there, it's just going to get instantly drained. So I had to make a new one. You know, it sucks, but it is what it is. It's kind of just the tuition of messing around with Web3, right? So that's right, G. Let's go. LBM bats up vibes. Everything is going down again. We still got time to accumulate. Yes, sir. That's the hardest part, right? Accumulating, right? Especially when you already put a good decent amount of money in. For me, I've definitely halted the amount of money I'm putting into Veve. Right now, I'm essentially just waiting for either the next Grail drop or basically X-Men Wolverine. That's kind of what I'm waiting for at this point. Like I don't want to say I'm done putting money in, but until one of those two things happen or there's some sort of like super Grail that's coming out, I'm really holding off on putting more money into the app. So if anything, I'm putting money into Omi. I mean, I've almost put as much money into Omi as I have Veve, and I put that much in the last like 2 or 3 weeks into Omi. So I'm kind of more, as of right now, more bullish on Omi. And I think just because the way the space is kind of evolving, and then also just crypto, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin ETF, it's kind of more revolved around crypto itself rather than like Veve. I do think it's going to take a while for us to like get Veve versus Access, and then the full MCP thing, and then Omi to either bronze ticket or Omi to like gem or Omi to NFT. All that stuff's going to take a while. So right now my current move is just kind of putting into Omi, putting money into Omi, and then just letting that ride. I am planning on putting about at least like $1 million and a half into my app, like the Veve app, just to kind of lock it up, start getting those MCP points. I just have a distinct feeling that people that stake Omi are going to get some sort of airdrop. I just have a feeling people that are part of that season 0, right? Remember season like 0? That's happening right now. They're like, oh, it's season 0 of like, not MCP, but like the Omi staking program or whatever it is. I do think people that stake during season 0 might get an airdrop. 110% speculation, but I think it's something similar to like, remember the auction thing? The first people that did like the auction? Let me just pull it up here. And I know chat's moving right now, but I kind of want to make a point first. I was checking out DC Palm just a bit earlier, but oh my gosh, dude, what was that auction? Artworks. Let's just do this. The very first one. This one, David Warhol. Whoever just auctioned, right? You didn't even need to win. All you had to do was just auction for the David Warhol and you got an airdrop, right? So I do think there's a possibility that if you just stake Omi, you might just get some sort of like random airdrop for just staking Omi during season 1. I could be completely wrong. I have no basis or confirmation on that. I'm just like, it'd be cool to do it. I have the Omi to stake, and so might as well. So that's just kind of my take. But let me catch up with chat. Slav says, what's up, vibes? What's up, everyone? Nick, aloha from Hawaii. Thanks. Are you in Hawaii? Have you always been in Hawaii, or are you just like visiting? We have a lot of people from Hawaii in like the Veve fam, like Veve community. It kind of surprises me. I feel like there's like 7 or 8 of you guys at least in the Veve fam. Music seems good, not too loud. Okay, gotcha. And then yes, we'll send them over. Start your new collections. Yes, sir. Same here. Yeah, just wait mode. There might be some things I'm gonna accumulate, but it just seems like anything that I bought recently that I thought was like cheap, it just goes down even lower, right? That was me with AF15 not too long ago. And we all saw my collectibles. I think he tweeted it almost exactly 24 hours ago that he bought another AF15 common for 250, and it's wow, it actually went back up to 300. So there was a couple listings. There was about 3 listings below 280. I think it was like 280, 285, and then there was like 250, like a huge jump down. And so that floor got swept up pretty quickly. So there's still like good deals to be had on the market, right? But then again, I do think this bull market's going to last a little bit longer than people expect. I think people kind of expect like, you know, Veveverse gets announced and like collectibles are just going to skyrocket. But remember, like only certain collectibles are going to be available in like the Veveverse. We're still waiting for like the open beta for like everyone to have access. Not open beta, but just everyone to have access. But even then, even if I got Veveverse tomorrow, there might be a handful of things I might buy that cost like less than 20 gems that might make my vault look cool. But it's not like I'm gonna go buy Todd because, oh my god, Todd looks great. Now I'm just gonna throw down $700 to buy Todd. That's just not me right now. Giant size X-Men #1 comment was $28 yesterday. What's it at now? Did it move up or down? I did see a listing at 28. It's still at 28. Floor is somewhat thin when it gets up to like 32, so it's pretty quick. See. V Virgin. Is it VV Virgin or just V Virgin? What's up, dude? Thanks for the emotes. I need to redo the emotes. I think I was gonna put out a community post on YouTube, which, you know, or at least to like my members, right? I think there's only like 10 or 12 of you guys, and having you guys come up with some ideas, or maybe I'll just do more random emotes. I actually kind of like making emotes because they're super simple. They're very small. I think it's like 128 pixels by 128 pixels. And you have to make it like look good in there. So I might mess around with those. Maybe I'll do new ones like every month or something, but still keep this Iron Man one. LBM Bats, I agree. I diversified enough, so I'm trying to focus more on Omi and certain comics and collectibles on the app. That's exactly my stance. I think it's, as of right now, like, grab the things that you want to grab as like an investor, because things you like probably aren't worth a ton, right? Things that look cool, you know, like if we're talking like Coca-Cola, like I think some of the stuff like looks cool. Like I think, you know, the Starlight Orb is gonna look awesome in the Veveverse. And then same thing, I think I did this on my last stream, like this whole animation with the swirling thing, like that's gonna look cool too. But like these are all things under like 10-15 gems. Like you have time to pick those up. But things like giant size X-Men, like if a bull run or a certain like announcement happens sooner rather than later, those things are more likely to run up quicker than just random things that would look cool in the Veveverse. That's just me personally. Crazy Veve guy. What's up, dude? I like the name. Aren't we all a little bit crazy for being in Veve? Might be a little redundant, but it's like you're the crazy guy. That's what I'm getting out of this. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Too much stuff to keep track of the app. I wholeheartedly agree. Like when I do my vibe checks in the morning for you guys and I make a video, I hope you guys find those useful. Or if you guys have anything you guys want me to cover on those vibe checks, just let me know in the comments here and I'll keep an eye out for it. I think the most recent video I did, like, okay, golden moments, pencils, hulks, like kind of what are people talking about and like what are people like waiting for right now. So right now pencils are kind of the fad, like people are waiting on hulks, like what are the prices of those if I wanted to buy in or sell out of those positions, you know, common comics. Obviously there's a lot of not drama, but obviously with Superstar Money, right? They did their videos about, you know, did you waste your money on digital comics? And they made another video yesterday, did you waste all your money on digital collectibles? I'm still gonna make a video. I'll probably post it tomorrow. I might make it tonight or maybe do it tomorrow morning, then post it I don't know, like early afternoon or something like that, because I do want to respond, or if you guys have questions about that video about the comics. I think I get what they're saying. I don't, as far as I know, no one in the community is like buying AF-15 thinking that it's going to be worth like $1.5 million. I don't think anyone's buying that expecting that it's going to reach the same levels as the physical, right? That's just not what I know of. The only things I could see the exception to that is we're talking 20-30 years from now, Veve's a household name. There's tons of comic book collectors, there's tons of people on Veve, and we're talking like, okay, Secret Rare 616 AF-15, right? And there's just like huge whales. Veve is the Amazon of just digital collectibles, and it's like, you know, it's the perfect storm, right? That's the only thing I could potentially see, like, okay, AF-15 is now pushing like low 7 figures, you know, something crazy, right? And that's like 20-30 years from now. That's the only way I see it. But I didn't buy AF-15 thinking it's going to go up to 100 grand or anything crazy like that, like in the near future. Big Oz, what's up, dude? Thanks for the emotes. Pixel Trader, Ayo. Weekend Vibe stream. Yeah, what's up, dude? Thanks for stopping by. I'll stick a little Omi because it might happen that season 0 stickers could get something, not financial advice. That's my take. That's what I said. I'm like, I do think the season 0 Omi stakers will get some sort of airdrop. I don't know what the snapshot is or if it's going to happen. 100% speculative, but it wouldn't surprise me because part of the reason for staking Omi, right, is for kind of exclusive rewards, whether it's bronze tickets or quarterly airdrops or extra MCP points. Like, it's all just stuff to kind of make the Veve platform experience like that much better and make you kind of stand out from people that aren't directly investing in Omi, which Omi is obviously directly tied to ecomi, which is somewhat tied to Veve and all that stuff. So it's, I don't know how that exactly works. But they did announce on their Twitter that like, hey, it's like the official token of Omi and Veve and all that kind of stuff. So maybe it's a bit more official now. D1 and Only wants to say what's up to everyone in the chats. Yeah, home in Hawaii, but living in Thailand most of the year. Let's go, dude. Dude, I would love to go to Thailand. If you guys didn't know this, I've actually never been out of the US. I was really close, like 2 or 3 times. Almost went to Canada, almost went to Mexico, but something either got in the way or something just kind of fell through and I just ended up not going. But I'd like to go to Thailand. I think the plane ticket's usually like kind of pricey from the US, but like once you get there, super inexpensive. Either there or like Korea or something like that would be kind of cool, but we'll see. I wouldn't mind going to Europe, but I feel like I would have to probably want to go to one of like the East Asian countries a bit more than Europe personally. I want a bit more of a culture shock, I guess, rather than, or just be somewhere a bit more where I could be a bit more immersed. VV Wheels, what's up? Q Onda? I'm sure what you mean by that. When you buy the dip for the 1000th time and it still keeps dipping, been that way since February 2022? Pretty much, dude. Pretty much. I used to think that collectibles will go up first before Omi, but I totally changed my stand on that. My opinion will go up before collectibles this time. I could see that. Yeah, I think it's mostly just because of all the stuff that's happening around Bitcoin, right? If you ask me why, the only thing I know, and it's mostly just through people like Crypto Rain and Doctor of Stuff and like a few other influencers that I watch that do talk about crypto. But I'm not actively looking at it and technical analysis and this and that. Like, I'm in some discords that kind of talk about it, but for me, it's just like, hey, if the Bitcoin ETF gets approved, they have until January to get it approved. And if that doesn't happen, I think they can push it out to April. And I think that at that point, like once it does get approved, there's going to be a big run up because people are hyped that Bitcoin's like kind of quote unquote official now. And then on top of that, the halving is like a few months after that, so that's another reason why it's going to go up. And I don't know, like there's kind of some like bull market indicators and kind of like touchstones that are going to happen, I feel like, some point early next year. And I think that's kind of what I'm preparing for. And if you look at the charts, like more often than not, like there's times where OMI follows exactly what Bitcoin does, and sometimes it does like an inverse. I don't know. It's all over the place. But as of right now, like OMI is super cheap. I feel more comfortable now with OMI than I did before. And I don't know. I feel like at this point, like, yeah, OMI can keep going back, but there's a lot of indicators that'll just like go up really, really quick. I don't know. Zeki speak? Slobs? People in Veve are crazy, but he's crazy. Yes, sir. It would be cool to get airdrop something if you have all rarities of a certain comic, especially an FA comic. That would be cool. And you know what? And the thing is, we've kind of noticed that Disney and Marvel and Star Wars, technically they're all like different things and they allow different stuff. I don't think Marvel's afraid to like burn shit, right? Like you look at the Gauntlet. They did the whole Gauntlet, like you could like a burn mechanic. Right now they're doing the Hulk, which I don't think there's a burn for that. It's just like you just have them and you kind of plug and play, and then you get like the airdrop Hulk for the most part. So like Marvel isn't afraid to like try different stuff and even like retroactively give, because remember, like the Infinity Stones, I don't think they had the idea for the Gauntlet when they initially released the first like Time Stone, right? Was it the Time Stone? No, it wasn't Time Stone. It was the Cube, right? The Tesseract. And like the second drop, the Time Stone didn't happen until like, I don't know, like 3-4 months later. I think it wasn't until then people were like, oh, okay, maybe we'll just turn this into like an airdrop thing. Let's just retroactively give utility for this thing that we already released. Might as well, right? So that's just my speculation. So lots of FUD is getting engagement right now. They're just cashing in on the bad feels. That could be it. I mean, they're half right in a lot of the stuff they say. There's some stuff I disagree with, but they are voicing the other 99.9% of the world, right? Like when they look internally, they're like, wait, this is just a copy. It's not the original, this and that. My whole thing is that it's first on blockchain. It's like the first one, it's the first officially licensed version of this comic. So Avengers 16, Amazing Spider-Man 14, Fantastic Four #4, the ones that I have up on the screen right now. Actually, let me zoom in a bit more so you guys can see. That's my whole spiel. Like, I don't care if it doesn't look like the cover or not. And honestly, Marvel could come out with their own NFT platform 2 years from now and say, all right, Vive's are facsimiles, ours are the original covers, we're minting 100,000 mints, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if Marvel over mints it, now Vive's are a bit more rare. Not only that, the Veve ones are first on the blockchain. So now there's going to be a new argument of like, all right, Vive's are first, but these ones are the originals. Okay, like which one's more important? I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts. We're just going to really see how the community and just like the whole digital space like plays out. There's a lot of different directions it can go in, but for me, first on the blockchain, it's like officially licensed, and it's like I don't think people are going to come onto me personally. I don't think that people are going to come onto the app and be like, well, the web is black, not white, so 40 gems instead of 400 or whatever, right? That's my take. It kind of reminds me of like I don't know, kind of like cameos versus first appearances or whatever. I don't think anyone's actually looking at not the CGC, but the oh my gosh, what's it called? What's it called? What's that website that everyone uses? Go Collect. I don't think anyone's going on Go Collect and being like, Go Collect is a good indicator of popularity, scarcity, and when there's whales out there that like comics and have a lot of money and they're like throwing their weight around, these are the comics that they're buying. I don't think anyone's buying AF-15 and saying, oh, because AF-15 is a $1 million comic, it's going to be worth $1 million eventually. I don't think anyone's really saying that. What celebrity makes sense for Veve to have as a spokesman? That's what we need right now to help get Veve's name out there. I don't know. I don't know why, but the first one that came to my head is just like Post Malone. I don't know. He's a huge nerd at heart. He's a super like chill, down to earth, very, very mainstream, you know, musician. I mean, he's the one that bought the Lord of the Rings Magic card, right? For like $3 million or whatever. It's like a one of one exclusive Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering card, or like part of the set. And there was one card ever printed with that thing, and he bought it for $3 million. So he's a huge nerd at heart, and I think he would understand digital collectibles and kind of the appeal to it, if you know, obviously if you took a bit of time to understand it and look at it. That would be my thing. I'm talking like, you know, there's probably other people that are like bigger nerds, or people that are a bit more respected in like the comic or collecting community, or, you know, the geekdom or whatever, but it's like you're just trying to reach as many people as possible and get people like on board. I don't know. I think Post Malone be kind of interesting. Would love to get back to Prague sometime. That city's awesome. Yeah, never been. Seen the movie, but never been there. Japan too, on the bucket list to go back to one of those. Yeah. Vibes and chill. Let's go, Dino. Let's get some eggs in the chat. New gold Veve logo for Omi stakers. That would be cool. That would be cool. I would love to get a Veve logo. I could have sworn they said they found new logos somewhat recently. I could be wrong. I would love to get one. I mean, if there was one collectible I would legitimately never sell, it would be the gold and silver logo, if they ever like handed me one or whatever. If they never do, a day will come where I'll probably buy it and just have it, but saw a good point online. Most things collected don't have value. Only a few key things do. I'm thinking of starting to collect Transformers, and you can still get Transformers made in the 90s. Let me read that again. So good point online. Most things collected don't have value, and only a few key things do. Yeah, that's how it is with comics, right? Technically 99.5% of all comics released aren't valuable, right? There's a small handful. And even look at the modern ones, like there's only a small handful. It's like, all right, like Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man, like all those ones where it's like, all right, if you buy it, slab it, all that stuff, like it's actually profitable in the short term. But thinking of starting to collect Transformers. You can still get Transformers made in the 80s. Let's see here. Visuals, the new collectibles. The new collectible won't be liked because of its past, but the new era of collecting will be liked because of what you can do with them. Old ways are out. Yeah, I think it's I agree. I do think 90% of comic collectors in real life aren't gonna like digital collectibles, and they think it's gonna be stepping on their feet and it's not the real thing and yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, Marvel, DC, like they're all gonna push digital. They're all gonna push digital collecting because that's how they get royalties forever, right? They're always gonna be, you know, making money and profit is always going to be first and foremost. Disney, no different. Dino's even told me Disney is probably it's the most greedy company ever, right? They're always going to find a way to make money, which is why, you know, we're getting random nesting dolls. I know it's Marvel, but still, it's like we're getting random nesting. They're just going to try and market anything, right? Does this mean this is FA Black Widow? First appearance Black Widow? I don't think so. I think it's FE. First edition. Okay, I was gonna say, like, please don't tell me this is first appearance of Black Widow, whatever the hell this is. But I agree. I don't think the old ways are out. It's just this is going to be the new way of collecting, and this is going to be the new way of collecting of digitally is going to have. They're going to get more support slowly. Sorry, they're going to get more support over time, and then eventually comics and all this stuff it's not going to get phased out forever, but it's one of those things where it's going to get slowly phased out. They're going to make less editions, less stuff, because there's just so much overhead with printing stuff, right? Like you speak for like $10 to $20, but if you have the unicorn transformer from the movie, it's at least a few $1,000s at any given point in time. Oh, the Unicron. What's a unicorn? Unicron Transformers. I'm not a huge Transformer person. I grew up watching like Beast Wars. I grew up watching. I watched a little bit of Transformers, but I didn't watch a ton of it. Sorry, I had to split the comments because I don't talk with the brain. with the good brain works. Good brain words, dude. I'm stuck too, dude. I ran like a ton of errands this morning, so even I'm a little tired, even on like for like a weekend. Did like 6 or 7 things this morning. Slavs, David did say Dan found a stack of old logos somewhere, but also the new logos are coming. Yeah, I would love an old logo. That's why, if I had the money and the time, I mean, I could technically go to New York Comic Con, and not just for the sole purpose of getting the logo, but I mean, if we're talking, yeah, you have to meet them in person, right? They're still on the fence of whether they're going to go to DCon or not. If they're going, I'm going. Whether they have a booth or not, even then, I'm still going to go and just meet them in person, meet the fam, and go there, because it's, you know, a day's going to come where we're not going to be able to meet David and Dan, right? So I'm going to try and make use of it as much as I can, you know, within reason. Will said VV wills once brands work out what's the new way of collecting Web3, it will turbocharge their business, and someone and everyone will see it. I think so too. It's just going to take a while for people to you know, get engaged with it, but in order for it to really take off, the IPs need to like give utility. They need to give people a reason to actually buy it. People are like, oh, here's a digital thing, like, why should I own that? Why? You know, the everyday normie, the everyday person that doesn't kind of, you know, doesn't get the big picture, or people that haven't put in dozens and dozens and dozens of hours of watching videos and all that stuff. You know, the everyday person could be like, why do I want to own a digital thing? And then, but if the IP also says, hey, we're releasing Aladdin, anyone who gets an Aladdin also gets this exclusive experience at Disneyland or whatever, like, that's what's going to draw people in. Exclusive experiences, things that are tied to monetary value, like utility. I would like to see like recurring utility, just like on an ongoing basis, kind of like Bat Cows, where it's like, hey, if you own this, you get early access to a lot of stuff for the next 2 years or whatever it is, right? I would like to see more of that kind of stuff personally. Do you want to know? He's saying what's up to everyone in chat. Do you want to know? He's like my PR, my public relations person. Beast Wars was fire. Let's go, dude. I agree. Beast Wars was awesome. I actually did watch the Beast Wars like Transformers like movie or whatever earlier. I think it was like a couple weeks ago. It was okay. It's just like good background, you know, movie, right? Like while you're cleaning the house or doing something like that, it's just running in the background. I have all the logos except for the big boy logo. It's on my list, but even if I sold everything right now, I couldn't snag one. So I'm gonna put a convention on my radar and go, dude, let's go. Even if, okay, let's say this, I still want to go, like, I will say, even outside of Veve, Decon was still really cool. I'm actually, the only thing one of the things I regret about going to Decon last year and not doing like more of was not going to like the other booths and like looking at independent artists like sooner. There's a lot of like really cool stuff at some of the booths, and there's a lot of like little like handmade paper like characters with like Link from Zelda and like other anime characters, like all these like really cool things. I'm like, these are cool, they're cute, you know, whatever. I was almost gonna buy a few and give them to like my family and some friends because they're like really cool looking. I don't know how much they were, but I remember just seeing it one day and walking by and all that stuff, and I wanted to actually double back and like buy it and buy some other cool stuff I saw, but I just got caught up with Veve stuff and probably had too many drinks, and I'm like, all right, it's already closed, it's too late, whatever. So but with this year, if Veve says they're going, I will go. Whether they have a booth or not, that doesn't matter to me, because if they're just like, hey, we're going to Decon but no booth this year, too much time, effort, and energy to set everything up, but we will be walking around the convention, we will have an event, you know, on this day at this time, we're all going to hang out together as Veve fam and do fun stuff. I would still go. I would still go for like the convention and then hang out with the Veve fam. But if Vive's not going at all, I probably won't go. Yeah, Balcals are one of the best case studies for brands. I hope they see it. I think so too. My only thing that I'm kind of nervous about with like things like Bat Cows and like HRO and stuff like that, like you can only leverage DC for so much. Now DC lovers are gonna love those platforms. Like if you like card collecting and DC, you go to HRO. If you love digital collectibles and comics that are DC, you go to DC Palm, right? If you want 3D digital collectibles with, you know, I don't know, like high rendering or just good graphics and all that stuff, okay, you go to the Todd McFarlane platform and buy it there. Assuming everyone knows how Web3 works and all that stuff, right? But Veve just has it all. I think it's the best platform for collectors, just for the sheer fact that there's so many IPs that there's something for everybody. But the thing is, it's like, I think a lot of people just, when they say like, oh, reward collectors, they only think like utility and that's it. Well, I bought this, I need utility. And I agree that like Veve does need more utility, but they're so tied up with the licensors and all that stuff that, which is why it's easier for them to do stuff with OMI, with master collector points, with their own IP, like the Veve logos. So they might experiment more with that. I think you could do an NFT thing with game skins. Like if you buy a certain game skin in a game, and the next game you can move your NFT to the next game, etc., and or sell on marketplace. Yeah, I could see that. I thought there was already a few video game companies that have kind of like experimented with like NFTs and stuff like that, but they just like ruined the whole idea of it and they like messed it up or whatever, and people didn't really jump on it with it. But that's the goal, right? It's like ownership and you can sell it. I think the best case scenario, I think like the closest thing we have to like NFTs that people do buy that aren't technically NFTs is things like CSGO and like Team Fortress 2, like hats and knives and guns and all that kind of stuff. Like that's the closest thing I can think of. And if that's the case, I mean, technically we have people buying digital collectibles for like 15 years already at this point. Has it been 15? Probably a little bit, probably like 10 years, a little bit closer to 10 years. One ton mon. Dude, I love saying your name. I love saying your name. I woke up early for the drop today, preloaded 30 gems, but last minute didn't go for it. I'd rather buy undervalued golden moments. Yeah, it's a good call. Let's take a look at the golden moments. Actually, let's look it up on this. It'll be that way we can kind of see all of them at the same time. What do I click here? Whatever, I'll just click this. Golden moments. Let's take a look at them. What's under 30 gems? That's the real. These four. Aladdin lamp, Timon and Pumbaa, Cogsworth, Flounder, Sebastian. Magic lamp from Aladdin. How many of these are there? How many of these were minted? 10,000? Oof, that's quite a bit. How many Timon and Pumbas? 13,000. How many Flounder and Sebastians? 8,333. Okay. This is just a little over 10,000. So 10,000, 13, 10, 8,000. There's a lot of these. There's a lot of these golden moments. Those are good. If we look at collectibles just in general, get rid of the golden moments. Like what are some good things you could buy between like 20 to 30 right now, collectible wise? Pink Panther, Aladdin, Genie. Dude, you can get some Lambos for less than 30. So it's like, it's up to you, but would you rather get the little, I forgot what it's called, the nesting doll, like wooden nesting doll of Black Widow, or would you rather own a Lambo? Or Aladdin, FAs, or Hal Jordan, member of the Justice League, first appearance, or Astro Boy, or Stanley. Like there's a lot of, I don't know. You can buy whatever you want. Never going to tell someone what they should or shouldn't buy, but there's a lot of good stuff on here for 30 gems. Or you can just hold the 30 gems and just play, you know, eventually when Veve releases some better comics, some better collectibles. Yeah, I'm really happy with being a part of the Batcal owners. Not everything airdropped is my thing, but from Palm to McFarlane, they're really trying to bring value for holding, and I like that. I heard there was some issues with McFarlane that they gave like utility for people, something involving floor price or something like that, where it's like you got MCP points based on like the floor price of like one of their more exclusive NFTs. I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering, and if you guys can clarify in the comments, that'd be awesome. But I heard people were like manipulating the floors and getting like more points or whatever, like more collector points or whatever it's called. I don't know, I'm not on the McFarlane platform, so I don't know 100% of what's going on, but I heard that basically the floor was getting manipulated on that. I will say this, like a lot of people have ideas about well, you know, why doesn't Veve just do something about this floor price, and like, or you get MCP points based on the floor price of collectibles or whatever. I heard Randy, he talked about it before, but he talked about it in his live stream this morning, talking about allowing people to take out a line of credit on certain collectibles. So if you wanted to buy something that's worth, let's say $500, and you can't buy it, you can almost give Veve one of your collectibles that's worth over, like, let's say 1,000 gems, worth over 1,000 gems, and then they'll let you borrow the 500 gems to buy it, and then until you like pay back the 500 gems, or you pay back 525 gems, you can then get that collectible back. Obviously they can't do it for everything, but it's like anything tied to floor price can and always will be manipulated by the community somehow, some way. If they allowed that, people would just buy, I don't know, what's something that's like, let me see here. People would just buy Tobies. If it allowed you to like take out a line of credit based on like half the value of the collectible, people would just buy common Tobies. There's only 24 of these. People would just buy, let me actually look up the price. I don't know, which Toby am I looking at? Whatever, I'll just do this one. Doesn't take much to move this price. Like, someone could buy all these Tobies, list a new one for 10,000 gems, and now they're able to take out a 5,000 gem loan against this Toby. And then buy something worth 5,000 gems, and then be like, all right, I'm not going to pay it back. You can keep my Toby. I don't care. I don't know. Something like that. Like anything involving floor price or anything can and will be manipulated, especially since there's so many collectibles on the app that all you have to do is find like one niche one or like an independent artist or something like that. All you have to do is find like a collectible that there's only like 4 or 5 on the floor, and you just buy those up and you relist it, and like all of a sudden the new floor is like 10,000 gems. I've seen it happen in video games with like active markets. I've seen it happen on other platforms, and it's like the same thing's going to happen here. Anything involving floor price will be getting manipulated. Did you see Prez from Cowls? Prez said those Batman Day 2023 pins were getting offers of $75. Interesting. Made me think hard to sell. Direct link only. I did see that. I did. Let's see here. I think you're talking about these, right? So my collection. I have to log in again. Okay, let's click my collection again. Are you talking about these? This pin in the middle? Batman Day 2023. I still have my Cal, so I got this. The floor price of this. How much are these Batman Day pins going for? Oh, okay. I take off the 2023. Dude, sometimes the market like just does not work. Just scrolling down to see if someone like listed one recently. If it's not there, we'll just find a way to type it in. I'm not seeing it on here. Oh, pins are not on the market. Sold. Oh, they're sold by direct link only. Huh. Didn't know that. Interesting. So how does direct link only work? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to look into it. For sure, I don't want a nesting doll. That looks pretty ugly in my opinion. Or do I want to do something else for 30? Right. Like the pin a lot. Looks cool. I think so too. I had no idea what was happening. It's actually kind of cool just getting like random airdrops. I actually landed the rare on the drop for first appearance of Penguin. Still barely above retail, but is it? Detective Comics 58. There's Legacy 8. Yeah, rare's at 13. It was at like 14 or 15, like kind of when it released. Yeah, it's crazy. These are so cheap. Like below box price, right? I think it's just because there's not a lot of people or liquidity on the platform. Also, we're just like in the heart of a bear market. We're getting towards the bottom of the bear market. So, man, line of credit sounds dangerous. I'm cool losing value, but owning something on credit for NFTs is a bridge too far, in my opinion. I think so too. I think a whole line of credit thing, it's way too easy to manipulate. I think I brought up to Randy and he's like, well, only certain collectibles would have it. And I'm like, well, whatever those collectibles are, they will get manipulated, even if it's Todd's, right? You get enough people together in a community and they're talking and all that stuff, you can set up like a perfect storm. So even if they did Todd's only, like, okay, only Todd's, you can tell a line of credit. It's been in the Veve ecosystem the longest. It's quote unquote the most stable, whatever. There's still a lot of people that own it, right? And if you just wait long enough for like there's a low enough listings, you can easily delist, pump the prices up, take out a huge line of credit, buy stuff. So, and plus like the amount of just legal headache involved with like a line of credit and all that stuff, I'm not sure if Veve wants to deal with that. So you list the pen, then just send the link to the buyer. You list the pen, then send the link to the buyer. Okay. So how would they know the price? Or you just list it and it's like on here? Just curious. Before selling your NFT, before selling, please note the proceeds of your sale. Let's go to my credit balance. Okay. All right, cool. Well, I'm not going to go much further, but yeah, so I guess it says total on sale 54. I don't know. I'll look at it later to get more information. All right, what's the market doing right now? Is there a drop? Do we have actually no drops happening in the near future? Is there nothing coming up here soon? We have, no, we do. I think we have a couple comics coming out here soon. Let me just show this really quick. Zoom in so you guys can actually see. You have this comic coming out. First issue of Iron Man's first ongoing series. Iron Man versus the Menaces of Whiplash and AIM, or AIM. I don't know. I'll probably go for this. It's a cool comic. I mean, it's the first Iron Man, right? 1968. And then someone also in the comments, Tommy Ski, thanks for the reminder. Yeah, Fish. And so I'm sure you guys already know this, or if you don't, like my MetaMask got hacked, all that fun stuff. I think I had one Fish on there, but Brock was super nice. He actually helped me out and kind of gave me some tips on like, all right, you got hacked. You know, this is what you need to do, like secure it or keep it like isolated, make a new MetaMask. This is what you should do. So now I have like a minting wallet. I have a storage wallet. And so I'm being much, much safer now about like my Web3 shit. But I didn't mint 3 fish. And so I'll be getting 3 fish. And I think my old wallet, I think I could still technically connect it and still get a, like a code or whatever for the fish. So I think I should get 4 fish tomorrow, like codes and stuff like that. And yeah, that is a drop. Like technically at 8 o'clock a.m. technically tomorrow is a drop. You know, it's not on this page, but it is on. It's on Twitter. Everyone's talking about it. I'm actually excited. So tomorrow is technically a drop. It's just if you own fish, you get a drop. So I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it. I have to really get a feel for the floor price, how many are minted, what I get, what the mints I get. Like if I get a low mint fish, I'm probably gonna floor it, not floor it, but just, you know, sell it. I do want the gems and liquidity. I do like Brock and the whole platform and like the fish community, but at the same time, unless fish is on the level of Miles or something like that, pretty much nothing is immune to the bear market and people just selling off. So if you can't beat them, join them, right? So that's my take. But I'll probably, maybe I'll sell it, wait a while, buy, because the fish look amazing. I actually really, really like the look. If you guys haven't checked them out yet, we'll take a look at it super quick. Brock. Yeah, we'll just look at this. This is the four fish in the middle here. I really like all four of these. They all look really, really cool. And they're, it says interactive, but not animated. So I think they move, or maybe they make sound. I have no idea, but. Not sure. Okay. Let's look at the market. What do you guys want to look at? If you guys have anything in particular, let me know. But if not, let's look at ultra rare comics. Let's see what these are doing. Release date, we'll do 24-hour trend. Let's see like what's up and down right now. What's up right now is Yoda #1. Dude, what is going up with this like Yoda comic? Seems to be pumping quite a bit. I didn't even bother going for the drop. I'm surprised it sold out. I think I just missed the drop. I think I was busy at work and I just kind of forgot about the drop altogether. The Spider-Man #2, first appearance of Vulture, that one's up quite a bit, but I think it's just the listings are so low. I mean, there's 10 listings, right? So I think there was either a delisting or a singular purchase. Yeah, I think there was like just a singular purchase. So went from 55 to up to 70 gems because it goes from 11 listings to 10. So it pretty much, I mean, it pretty much went up 30% like immediately because of like one purchase. D1 and only wants to see Iron Man. Let's take a look at Iron Man. Look at Iron Man real quick and we'll jump back to the comics. What am I missing here? It's Iron Man 2 words. I guess it is. Iron Man. Look at the chart. Currently he's at 80. Man, this thing really... This thing was at 160 at one point. I remember when it was at 160, then it pulled back. It was kind of fighting for that 100 gem floor for a while. Then it kind of just started bottoming out. It was actually pretty consistent between 90 and 100 gems for the better part of a month. I won this on drop. So I just decided to keep it. Probably should have sold it in hindsight. I've definitely adjusted my plan on Veve. Even just the last couple months, I've definitely like changed my plan and how I'm approaching drops and stuff. Like in my mind, you know, you guys can do whatever you want, but in my mind, but like unless it's a huge grail, very little mints, I'm probably more than likely gonna sell it. Because so far everything that I've bought and held because I like it. And there's a difference between like liking it and loving it and all that stuff. And like, do I want to keep it forever, this or that? But long story short, everything I bought last 6 months, hell, last 2 years is just kind of like gone down. So Mark D says, those Veve fish are fantastic. They look really, really cool. I'm actually really excited. And I think it's also a big like Veve moment, right? Cause it's like the first Veve community member like drop, right? Right, it's like the first drop by like a Veve community member that I can think of, unless you guys can think of something else that maybe I overlooked, or maybe something was co-made by like a Veve member or whatever. But this is like the first like NFT on Veve that was made by like a Veve community, someone in the community, right? Everything else was like big IPs, big stuff, but this is like, all right, Veve community, right? So Yoda Sabers had a nice pump, but they're down now. Yeah, they did go up quite a bit. Then they retraced back. I don't know. I think it's because like one person, we'll actually look at it right now before I forget. And I think it's because there was like one person that bought like a bunch of lightsabers. I'm trying to remember when this happened. This is pretty recently. It's right here. So there was, floor price went down. I think it happened too fast for the algorithm or for this to notice. Go back. Because it says here the price is at 13 gems. And then the price went up, but so did the supply. So I think it just happened too quickly. It went from 13 to 37, but there's more listings. So whoever bought it, I think someone just bought, you know, 20 or 30 lightsabers or whatever it was. I don't know the exact amount, but someone bought a lot of lightsabers. conveniently around the Yoda comic drop. So I guess it just kind of happened that way. Or maybe there's just a whale was like, I don't know. It just kind of makes sense. I'm going to buy them before other people do. So. I would love a check-in on like the top 3 comics and or collectibles. Wonder if they're also feeling the hurt of the last week or two. Yeah, I feel like it's the same comics every time. It's always like, I mean, we'll look. Dude, if we're talking like floor price, like these are always like the top 3 like ultra rares. Like these are the top 3 comics across the board. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's always like Avengers 8 at AF15 and then Spider-Man 252 and then like Marvel Comics #1. Like pretty much across the board, it's those same 3 or the same, 6 or so. It's almost like these top 6 are like the same ones every time. Like almost identically in order. Some of them might move around a bit just due to mint differences and stuff like that. The only one here actually is Ultimate Fallout. Rare is pretty high. So it's kind of snuck its way up here. But we're talking ultra rare, secret rare. Like it's always these top ones. The same ones every time. Interesting. It says Giant Size X-Men hit an all-time high of 1K. But I've seen it above 1K before, so I don't think this is correct. I've seen, I mean, hell, even like a few days after, even like a week after the Giant Size X-Men 1 drop, I remember seeing this at like 1,300, 1,500 gems. So 1,000 gems is not the all-time high Giant Size X-Men secret rare. Let's go to comics again, ultra rares. We'll take a look at these. I'll catch up with chat here in a sec. 24-hour trend. So Yoda's up, Luke Cage is up. Again, it's just super thin floors, like 5 listings on Iron Man, 6 listings on Hero for Hire. Yoda's just kind of the temporary hype right now. 10 listings, 10, 5, 9, 9, 12. Like everything's either very, very low 2-digit or it's like there's single digits of ultra rares. And so a singular purchase or delisting causes the price to go up. I agree with that. There's a financial incentive to basically own nothing and sell anything, any drop that's profitable. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't do that a year and a half, 2 years ago, but we learn. And at this point, like I am accumulating. If anything, I'm going for drops that I think are popular and profitable, and I sell that to have gem liquidity to buy other things that I do like more. And I think everyone's doing that, or at least the majority of people are doing that on Veve, right? Not everyone loves Captain America or X-Men or Disney or the next Spider-Man drop or this whatever the new vertical is. Not everyone likes that stuff. The people might just use the drops as a tool for them to actually like kind of create money or create gems in their account and finally buy what they like or buy more of it rather than throwing in more fiat. I'm super hyped to see what fiche I get. I'm into them all. Yeah, I minted 3. Actually, Brock gave me an extra one because I got hacked and saw that stuff, and so he actually helped me out. So I actually might get 5 fiche. I mean, the fiche community is really, really awesome. They actually helped me out a ton with my whole like account hacking thing. They all give me a bunch of tips and stuff like that. So super excited, and I like the community. I like the idea, and Brock is like a super cool dude. He actually gave me a bunch of good pointers on that stuff. So Pixel Trader said, yep, someone bought 170 Yoda sabers. I think they 300 plus now, so there's like over 300 on the market. Is that what you mean? Or like that person owns over 300? Let's just check it out really quick. Wow, someone really bought 170 Yoda lightsabers? Yeah, there's a lot on the market. Yeah, it said there was 100 and something. I think I just closed it too quickly. Yoda. Yeah, 159 are in the market right now. Yeah, I guess someone just bought up like 130 lightsabers, I guess. And the price just skyrocketed. And, whenever the price goes up, it's going to go back down. People are always going to want to take profit. So, correct. Anytime you have a huge spike, there's a huge retrace almost as quickly, if not more quickly. That's why that's why like when things go up, let's say the floor price, literally right now on the stream, I'm looking at this and like I noticed the floor price instantly jumps up to 31 gems. It's like, oh my god, I got a Yoda lightsaber, I want to floor it. Like putting it for like 30, 32, or even like 29 gems isn't going to get it sold. Like you have to list it for like 28. 28 is probably even on the high, and you have to like list it like much lower so the gap looks bigger and people are more incentivized to buy it, because over a few minutes it's going to get right to that price. Another trick I'll do sometimes is I'll list something, and if it doesn't get, especially on drop day, if I have like a 3-digit mint or something that like I do think people will find like appealing, I'll like list it, no one buys it, I delist, relist, like every time you relist it, right, it refreshes on this page. So sometimes if there's a collectible I'm trying to get rid of, like in a somewhat timely manner, and it's kind of like, let's say I'm trying to sell Poe, you know, in 5 minutes, Poe's going to be off the top of this page, you know, on Veve. So I'll list him for a price. Sometimes I'll even relist it for the same price, like multiple times. So like I'll list him, he'll be at the top, it'll drop down because other listings happen, he gets pushed down to the bottom, people don't see it. I'll delist, relist again, same price. I just keep doing it over and over just to kind of increase my likelihood of it getting found on the top of this page. Because there are people on the app or on this page that just refresh, right? They just sit here, refresh, what's new, what can I snipe, what's cheap. So SR cap approaching retail, really? SR cap. This one? Ultimate animated? I don't know the box price of this one. Refresh, because does it say the box price on here? Wow, dude, wait, there was you know what? I forgot like the early days of like Veve or like Marvel on the app. Dude, they were selling, like, there was a different price for everything because that's how DC was. And I think they just applied the same, like, store tactic to Marvel too. Because this says, I had no idea SR Captain America was 400 gems box price. Like, you had to put in $400 to buy him for an SR. And the ultra rare, how much was he? 250? The rare was 100 gems. Dude, these prices... 50 gems for the uncommon, 40 gems for the common. Dude, I did not know that. Nowadays, they'll probably just drop Captain America, 60 gem, right, box price. And, you know, you just get what you get, and that's it, right? I did not know that, to be honest. Because they did that for, let's just look at Mira. Like these ones, like these like very early, like season 1 drops or like the early days of Veve. Like these drops were, but I hate have to keep refreshing the page every time I look at the thing. All right, my thing is lagging, so I'll look at chat. My NFT tracker and Veve Market are basically daily close prices, so definitely missing a lot of data. One day we'll have actual sales data, hopefully. Yeah, that's why I really liked, you know, obviously ecomi wiki. I really like that because it had hourly prices, so. You know, at the top of each hour, you had new prices, right? Every hour. And it was pretty darn accurate because you would get 24 price updates in a day instead of just one, right? Yeah, like this one was 59 gems, or sorry, 60 gems for Mira. Supergirl was 90 gems. Catwoman was 50, and then Batgirl was 40. So it's like 40, yeah, 40, 50, 60, 90. Jeez. Dude, I gotta give it to the like early adopters, people that were on Veve early. Like, these are high prices for stuff initially, like high prices. You know, of course, it was beneficial that they basically got in like a year before the bull market and everything did a 1000x. But everyone says buy low and sell high, few actually execute it. That's true. Yep. My whole thing is, you know, if you bought stuff high, it's okay to sell low, but use that sell low to buy something else that you think will go higher than the thing you previously had, right? If, you know, let's say you bought FA Batgirl at, you know, 500 gems or whatever I don't even know her all-time high. But let's say you bought Batgirl for 100 gems and you're just like, oh, dude, it sucks. I bought it for 100 gems. Now she's worth 7, you know, or 750, whatever. You know, it's okay to sell her, but if you're buying something else for 7 gems or whatever the remaining amount is, let's say you buy, I don't know, some rare comic that someone's like overlooking, or maybe you buy a series of comics, or maybe a couple collectibles that you think people just like completely overlooked. If you think those two things, and we're talking investing, right? Or not investing, but I'm talking about if you're doing it for profit. If you think those two things are going to outperform Batgirl, that's not a bad move, right? As long as you have a plan. Don't just sell it and just get the gems and just like whatever. Well, that's always been my philosophy. Like the only time I sell something is to have a plan to buy something else that I think is going to outperform what I previously had. Because you know what, the thing that you just sold is down 98%. That other thing you're buying is probably also down 98%. But if you feel like that's going to have a higher high, that's fine. And we're talking, you know, we're talking gems in a gated community on a digital platform. We're not talking taxes. We're not talking actual like security sales and, you know, the open market and NASDAQ. We're not talking that. That's a whole different realm, but same stuff kind of applies, but not really. I'm an expert in buying high and selling low though. Let's go. Dude, I've done that a few times. I mean, I've done that. But like I said, unless you're buying, if you buy something else that you think is going to outperform Batgirl, it's okay to sell Batgirl as long as you buy something else you think is going to outperform it. You know, just for shits and gigs. Some X floor. Let's put 7 here. Let's put collectibles. Is there any collectibles that are... I mean, there's a lot of collectibles actually below 7 gems right now. But if for whatever reason you thought, like, what's kind of like low mint? And that like could perform better than that. The Rogs. I'm trying to find like a solo mint thing. Thor. There's like too many Thors compared to Batgirl. I don't know. I can't think of one right now. But maybe like Starlight Orb. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's like, all right, maybe you think because it has less mints than Batgirl. I don't know. How many mints does Batgirl have? Earlier. She has 14,000 mints. For whatever reason, if you think the temporary pump of Starlight Orb is going to go up because of like Veveverse and stuff, maybe that's a move, but I don't know. I don't want to dig into that too much. Yeah, even those high prices back then, drops were selling out in a second. Yeah, well, a big part of it was bots, but also a big part of it too was just everyone was on Cloud9, right? Everyone's on Cloud. Same thing with me. Like, I don't know now, knowing what I know now, if I had Steamboat Willie and it ran up to 10,000 gems, I probably would have sold it too soon. Like, okay, at 8,000, God, if I just held it, I could have made another 2,000 gems. But like, profit is profit, right? You're never going to be able to time the exact top, and you're never going to be able to time the exact bottom. Pretty much anything. NFTs, let's see here. Let's take a look at collectibles. Someone brought up a good point. I think it was actually on Superstar Money Stream, or it was on maybe Doctor of Stuff. They were talking about how like Veve right now has like too many SRs. Like Secret Rare used to be this like very exclusive thing. There's not too many of them, right? It was actually something up. I remember the early days of Veve. It was like a surprise when there's a Secret Rare, right? You're like, oh man, there's a Secret Rare. Whoa, that's a big deal. Now it just seems like there's so many Secret Rares that there's like just too many to track. Like any random thing, like the Cryo Can. Like the Cryo Can's a Secret Rare. Like when you look at, I do think they should be a bit more sparing with the Secret Rare. Like in some cases, I would rather see them drop like an ultra rare. I don't know. I think the whole thing about Secret Rare, like, let's do this. Release date. What did the early days of Secret Rares look like? Ghostbusters logos, okay. Spider-Man, Captain America, Lucky, Hooverville Labbit, Alligator Loki. Yeah, not too many. I mean, this is Christmas of 2022, right? So like a full year later, and I know they didn't have as many drops back then in like 2021 and 2022 as we do now, but I mean, there's only what, 12, so 6 and 6, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, like 18 Secret Rares from 2021 to Christmas of 2022. But since then, it's like we've had 8 more pages of this, and it's been a year and a half. Seems like the first year and a half of Veve, there was like 18 Secret Rares. The most recent year and a half of Veve, there's probably been like 70 or 80 Secret Rares. And I kind of thought the Secret Rare thing would be a bit more, I don't know, rare. and not too often, but it just seems like anytime there's a drop with like 5 editions or 5 different versions, there's always a secret rare. I don't know. Or maybe they're kind of more leveraging like this one too. It's like, why is every single one of these aerials secret rare? It's not the biggest deal in the world. It's just more of something I noticed. And I think it was someone that said like, I think Veve should do a slightly better job protecting the secret rarity or category instead of just throwing it at a lot of things. Like I said, the first year and a half of Veve, there was 18 secret rares, you know, or maybe let's just call it 20 secret rares. But since then, we've had, I don't know, probably like 100 secret rares the most recent year and a half. And I know we've had more drops, but I don't know. Spider-Man SR hovering around 5K. Ever thunk it? Did I ever think that would happen? A year and a half ago, no. 2 years ago, no. I never thought it would get that low. But, you know, considering the bear market, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that it's getting that low. Sleeping Comics Vibes, what's up, dude? Thanks for stopping by, Sleeping. What we were checking out, oh yeah, so secret rare comics, or it's not secret rare comics, but secret rare collectibles. Bear market is painful. I agree, it is painful, but it's a good time to accumulate. It does hurt my soul a little bit that you know, giant size X-Men and a few other comics are getting like below 30 again. Let's take a look at them. So common comics, flip these. Yeah, these are like the top common comics, right? You know, it's like Kang is at 53. Actually, let's go floor price, not release date. Floor price. Interesting. We'll flip that. Wait. Are there legitimately 1 gem comics right now? Miss Marvel, 1 gem. Mystique. If I type in Marvel, it's gonna literally show everything. Miss Marvel 16. Maybe we'll just put in 16. It's an exclamation point. Is there literally a 1 gem comment on the floor? Okay, maybe just very temporarily there was like a snapshot. Maybe there was a 1 gem one on the floor, but yeah, we're getting into the realm of 1 gem commons. There's a lot of 1 gem, 2 gem commons around. There's a lot of them below 2 gems right now. I think it's probably like the biggest like sleeper 2 gem comment. I mean, FA Mystique is an interesting one. I might, if people are putting her at 1 gem, I might buy a few of those just because I like X-Men. Secret Wars. Bishop, I think has 30,000 mints. Yeah, he's a 30,000 mint comic. I'm trying to almost stay exclusively to 10,000 mint or less comics personally. Unless there's one I really like or that is extremely iconic. You know, like Marvel Comics and some of the other ones. SR was really supposed to be just for like very limited airdrops and things that aren't drops. Wish they kept that way. Was basically for the entire Ultraman SR poster when they oversold. Yeah, like I think like, I feel like SR used to mean something a year and a half ago. Like the first year and a half of Veve, getting an SR. I mean, hell, even the Golden Moments didn't have any SRs until we got, you know, Chipmunks or whatever the hell the... do we still not have SR Golden Moments? Let me just pull this up really quick. So I'm kind of jumping around. Do we still not have any SR Golden Moments? Okay, we don't. They're all UR. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else. But even then, it's like, I don't know. I feel like SRs used to mean something, and it was pretty unique whenever a drop did have an SR because you get like more MCP points, all that stuff. It kind of was more exclusive. Now it's like we have a ton of SRs. So Crazy Dan 420, hit the like button to give some good vibes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Crazy Dan 420. Hope you're enjoying yourself and blazing it today. A secret rare is just an eccentric way to say most rare. It is what it is. That genie ain't going back in the bottle. Yeah, no, it's not. It's too far gone now. Now's a good time to grab what to grab cheap you like. Exactly. I would say this, grab, not financial advice, but it's like if you're trying to pick between, okay, Journey into Mystery or like Tales of Suspense 39 versus like, or I'm gonna grab these other comics that I like just because the cover looks cool. Yeah, you know, you should probably grab the thing that you feel like is gonna go up in value, and then grab that, because you're gonna have plenty of time to grab. And I'm just using this as like a joke, but it's like, if for whatever reason you like the cover of Alpha Flight and you're like, oh, I like the cover and this and this and this and this, it's like, grab the more coveted things first. You always have time to buy Alpha Flight and all this other random stuff later for cheap. Like at the end of the day, my philosophy is always like, if for whatever reason, if everything does a 10x, is it easier to buy Journey and Mystery 83 or Alpha Flight at the end of the day? So it's like, kind of grab what you can. Pop quiz hot shot, 10K dollars, one purchase. What would it be? Can be comic or collectibles. Asking for a friend. Pop quiz hot shot, 10,000 gems. I think someone asked me this question a while ago. Trying to remember what it was. Actually, I'm not feeling this song. Had to change the song really quick. No. Going for 10,000 gems right now. One purchase. Okay, one purchase. What would it be? Can be a comic or collectible. Asking for a friend. One purchase. You held a gun to my head. I mean, it'd be, obviously Amazing Fantasy 15. You like literally held a gun to my head and you're like, you have 10 grand and you have to buy something. One thing. I mean, obviously just buy this, right? And then, I don't know, then collectibles. Let's look at collectibles. You know what's interesting? It's like, is it better to buy 2 SR Spideys or 1 Miles? It's a tough question. I'd probably go with the Miles just because it's so rare. 250 mints, and actually it's more close. Let's just look it up. SR. I hate it when it does this. I gotta refresh. Give me a sec. Money in circulation. That can't be right. It says editions in circulation 249, but Veve holds back like a certain amount, so I don't think that's right. I could have sworn it was closer to like 220 or something like that, maybe a little bit less. Insanely rare. So it's, I mean, that's my 2. It's AF15 and Miles. I like how that, you know what's funny, that because that person burned 1 edition of Miles, there's always going to be that burn logo right there. Always going to have a burn logo, because anything that has a burn is going to have this little like fire like icon next to the FA. Dude, whoever did that was a freaking Giga Chad that burned an SR Miles Morales just for the sake of the gauntlet. I'm not even sure why Veve even offered that as an option. I have no clue why that was even offered as an option. Veve held back 90 Miles SR. Okay, so now we're talking, how many are we talking here? So 150? No, 160 miles. There's only 160 miles in circulation. That is nutty. Sometimes I forget how scarce this freaking thing is. Yeah, I would buy, I mean, hands down. And obviously, as a big reason is there's 1,000 Peter Parker secret rare Spider-Mans, and there's 100 and whatever, 160 public. So Miles Morales is 8 times more rare or more scarce than the SR Spider-Man, roughly, probably 7 to 8 times more scarce. But if you didn't want Miles, or let's say you're whatever the person that hates Miles or whoever, right? Your friend absolutely hates Miles. It's probably not bad to get like I don't know, VV logo and SR Spider-Man or partner statue. I mean, anything up here is great, right? Probably wouldn't go for this Steve Pugh Harley Quinn. Super, it's an iconic old piece. This one, like, I feel like only old school VV users would understand the kind of like the enamor of Harley Quinn, Steve Pugh. That and like Nightwing. There's a few other like very old school NFTs that VV OGs remember like very fondly, and did play like a big role in like the early days of trading and all that stuff. Both of those were kind of part of that, but that's not the case anymore, obviously. But I mean, Miles has, I think Miles is the ultra grail. It's the ultra grail, it's the super grail of the app. It's the perfect balance of popularity, animation, detail, rarity. It has literally everything. Like usually most collectibles are missing one of those things. Like as of right now, like Spider-Man has the popularity like this one, but like, okay, it's a little shy on the scarceness. I mean, 1,000 is still not a lot, but it's still a little shy on the scarceness, and like the animation looks cool, but Miles is a 10 out of 10 on like all those categories I just mentioned. Absolutely. 10K purchase would have to be very special and widely recognized edition number of momentous piece. Yeah, that or like, you know, if you look at the comics, like SR comics, if you can, and these mint numbers aren't always going to be an SR comic, right? But if you can get like a certain mint year of some of these like higher level collectibles, like maybe Marvel Comics or Fantastic Four, if you can get like the exact year it was made or whatever it is, Incredible Hulk, like that could be a good one. But like we're talking very, very niche, right? Like you would have to find that millionaire Incredible Hulk lover, right? Not only would they have to love the Incredible Hulk, have enough money, and be a Hulk fanatic, they also have to believe in like digital collectibles. They have to find the VV app. They have to know, like, contact you. Like there's so many variables that go into like buying an extremely exclusive like mint number, especially if it's like an SR, like whatever it is for a comic, right? You're appealing to the fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent of people, and not of the world, like of like the collecting community. So like the guy that bought 1939 MC1, yeah, exactly. Like yeah, it's like that's a great buy. He's probably gonna have to wait a long time to get the price that he wants, but yeah, that's a fantastic buy. Yep, Sleeping Comics agrees. Miles SR. Miles SR is an incredible for VV for certain. I think it's the best. It's a 10 out of 10 on all categories, like detail, scarcity, popularity. It's got it all. Bioshock, what's up, dude? V Hellback 90, yeah, I've read that one earlier. Jason Pina, I think you mentioned liking Speed Movie. Pop quiz, never mind. Like Speed Movie. The one with like Keanu Reeves and like the bus where they had to like keep it above like, what was it, 59 or I don't know, 69 miles per hour, giggity? I don't know. Cool to see burn editions and logo. Didn't realize they add this now. Yeah, like there's a little burn icon for anything that got burned. There's that little icon now. Even if it's one edition, it's there. Yeah, 160 available. BB sold the final mint SR Miles direct to Danny Boy. I'm sure, hope they got a pretty penny. Sold the final mint SR directly to, I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to any of that like drama and who VV transact with like the super whales and all that stuff. I don't know. Like personally, I couldn't really care less. Like I'm not in the if I was like a VV whale and I was like a super mint hunter and all that stuff, I might be a little upset that like VV's like giving exclusive drops or like kind of doing over the counter transactions, but I'm not in that category and it doesn't affect me. So and one could argue, okay, that's a slippery slope, and you know, it could kind of go from there, but I mean, VV can do what they want. So thinking I need to rally some friends and family for Miles. Yeah, I mean, you could do, I mean, if you got enough friends and whatever in it, you know, you could do like fractional ownership, but again, none of this is financial advice. Could Miles go down even further? I mean, let's just pull up Miles really quick. Yeah, let's just pull up Miles on here. Like, what has it done? Oh, it's because I still have comics selected. I think it has retraced. It has gone down. I mean, at one point it was at 15,000. I could have sworn it was at 18 for a very, very brief period of time, but yeah, it was at 15,000. Now it's at 10, right? That's at 10, so it's already gone down a third of its price from like the all-time high. So I do think SR Miles still has a bit of room to drop if it wanted to. My shitters for and not going for nothing. Basis for MCP level right. Holding dogs until MCP realized. Jason, I don't know if that's a sentence, or maybe I just read it incorrectly. I am going to stake some Omi though shortly in the Veve platform, just so I can start accumulating MCP points, because it sounds like you get a lot of MCP for staking Omi. Right now, I've been jumping between like Diamond 1 and Diamond 2. Sometimes this like daily point thing doesn't make any sense. Sometimes it jumps up, it jumps down, and some days, even when I don't mint anything or do anything, sometimes it'll say like I have 415 points yesterday, and then like today all of a sudden I have 288, and then another day it'll say like I have like 315. I'm like, what is going on? It's I still think the MCP point accumulation or like allocation is still like very, very random and inconsistent. I bought a Miles SR drop day. I don't like to talk about it because I have one. I think it's okay to talk about it if you have one. I don't know why like the community was so weird about people like, if you talk about a collectible in a positive or negative manner, you have to like give the disclaimer like, all right, I own this, but like I'm not saying this to pump it or dump it or whatever. It's like, why do you have to give that disclaimer that you own one? Like, A, who cares? B, like me or Sleep and Comment, like if you know, if I say something about SR Miles and you guys buy it, like, hey, it's not my, you know, it's, you allowed me to convince you. You yourself allowed yourself to get convinced by me to buy it, right? Or to sell it or whatever. It's kind of strange. I do think a lot of people in the like community are kind of like lost the concept of like personal responsibility and like pointing the fingers at a lot of other different people and companies and this and that. People are like, well, you know, it's Veve's fault for not doing lower mints. It's like, all right, if Veve's mint sizes are still too large for the current community, just don't buy the mints. Eventually Veve's going to get the hint that if you just stop buying it, they're going to have to start lowering the mints. And even then, it's not up to Veve. It's still probably 90% up to licensor and a little bit up to Veve. I know David Yu has the say in like the mints, but I don't think David Yu always has like the final say. It's not like Disney sitting there and being like, David, what do you think? All right, let's just do that. But I could be wrong. What do I know? I think that's why it's like, we're not influencers. We're not anything like that. Like, and if you allow me to influence you, I mean, that's on you. I'm just here just to like have fun, talk about stuff I like, give my thoughts and impressions on, you know, certain collectibles and comics. And if you guys agree, great. If you don't agree, that's fine too. My 9-year-old always says, what does it do? Whenever I show her a new collectible, bullish on animated, Allah, Veveverse. Allah, is that Aladdin or I'd say Allah Veveverse? Yeah. I led to my babysitter that I would watch Speed when I was a lad. That you would watch Speed with Keanu Reeves. That one. I remember I had a babysitter one time, and I was really young. Me and my brothers, and we went to the video store. I think it was Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, one of those places, right? Back when they existed, and I think she got us a video, and she thought it was a child, like a kid's video for kids. But she got the movie called Child's Play, which is for Chucky, and we all watched it. I don't remember it too much, but I do remember my older brothers were like, yeah, they were like haunted by that for a few weeks. So yeah, that was my story with a babysitter and like movies and stuff. But I think Miles SR sold for 8.9 a couple days ago. Okay. All right. So people are still buying it. You know, I mean, I think in a lot of ways, it's the crown jewel, I think, of the Veve collectibles. The animation's awesome. The popularity, the mint numbers, everything is just perfect. Until something comes along, there's only a handful of things that I could think that would dethrone it, and usually it's only because the mint numbers. Like if some crazy reason Veve did Wolverine and they had like 3 different mints just like Miles, except like this SR had like 100 mints, right? And Veve withheld 30 or 40 or no, whatever the amount is, right? And there's just so little. That's the only way I think Miles would get outpriced, is if there's just like another super popular character, but it has like less than half the mints, like 100 or something like that, right? Or like less than 100. I feel like that's the only way it would beat Miles. The Ultimate Fallout 4 comic price dropped a bit last few months. Let's take a look. I'm not sure which price, but I just had it there. Let's type in Ultimate here and then comics. Whoops, comics. Am I missing something here? So I guess I'll do Fallout. I don't know. We'll start with the comments. What's the common doing? It's at 19. The price of the commons have been going down. I have been watching them. I still need to buy a common at this. But I think I'm gonna pull the trigger on the rare first before I buy the common. I know it sounds weird, but like, I really like this rare cover. So I think I'm probably gonna buy the rare first and then like the common, just to say I have one of each. But yeah, in July, like late July, yeah, the common was at 37 gems. Now it's at 20. So yeah, the price, I mean, the price of all the comics, all the collectibles, they're all going down, right? We even saw Miles went down a little bit. Let's look at the rare. I've been paying, this is one of the few comics I look at like legitimately every day. Like not every day, but probably a couple times a week. I'd look at just to see where it's at. So late June was at 188. Late July was at 175. Now it's all the way down to 80 gems for the most part, 80, 90 gems. I don't, to be quite frank, I don't know what my buy range is exactly, just because everything is still dropping. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if this rare eventually pulls back to like, I don't know, 50 gems. And we're really in the heart of the bear market, right? And then like 14 days of Veve gets announced and there's a bunch of other stuff happening, more FAs and more like rails. So yeah. Sorry, I meant to do this one as well. Let's look at the ultra rare. And dude, the ultra rare is only like 30 gems less than the rare, which is kind of surprising. Like ultra rare is 115, but the rare is 90. So it's not that much different. How many mints are this? 1,000 of the ultra rare. 2,300 of these rare. Okay. We'll look at the SR. Yeah, SR was at 1,000. I think these prices are messed up. I don't know why the stuff is just like peaking at 1,000. I'm probably for certain there was a time this was well over 1,000. I've been putting off buying crypto all day. Yeah, same. I do want to put more into ecomi. Right now I've just been dollar cost averaging for the most part. I think me and there's a lot of people I've heard say that like ecomi will go down and break below, not like touch it, but actually like break below, you know, 0.007 and kind of keeps retracing. That's probably when I'm going to buy a good amount. That 0.007, then even more at 0.006. I mean, if it keeps going down, I'll keep buying. That's kind of my goal. Divvy himself said he would prefer the final mint to any other, since number one is kept by the company. It would never be available. Yeah, that's kind of like the you know, like the one of one mint, right? The last final mint is, you know, looks very clean because it's going to say, you know, mint number 6,000 or whatever. I think he said he'd prefer the final mint because you can't get mint number one in any way, shape, or fashion. So I know 40, like the mint number 41 is only known to people that do collect a lot and that are very active in the Veve community. So people might wonder like, well, why is 41 the most expensive? Like, where's 39? Where's 21? Like, it just doesn't exist. So, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. I agree that Miles SR is the crown jewel of Veve collectibles. It's so great. It is awesome. And I agree, Mark. I think I've seen you around here, Mark, and I appreciate you being active and having some compelling questions, or at least some like compelling comments. Rare Ultimate Fallout 4 is one of the coolest covers on the app for sure. Uncommon is the second edition and physicals. Yeah, I've seen both. I was just like randomly looking up Ultimate Fallout comics on eBay, I don't know, some time ago, and I did see both versions of this, like with and without his face like revealed. Like the one with his face revealed is like the second edition. I did see that. Uncommon is second edition, not nearly as valuable as the first edition common. Yeah, exactly. If Veve were to give you a gift, what would you pick? Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man #1 uncommon, mint 1963, or one SR variant, random mint. Amazing Spider-Man #1. Oh, like the comic, like ASM #1. Guess I could just do it this way. I don't know why I'm making this difficult. Pretty early drop. Let's go to the commons. Are you talking about this one? Just to make sure. Talking about this one? Just normal Amazing Spider-Man #1. The uncommon, which is a #1 1963, or one SR variant, random mint. How much is the SR going for? 1,000 gems. Personally, ooh, I don't know. Okay. Right now, just because I really want the liquidity, I'd probably go for the SR because it's easily marketable. Like, you can easily just floor an SR random mint. You know, I could easily just floor this for 800 gems. I'm sure someone might pick it up at some point, whatever. But if we're talking like an extreme long-term hold and finding the perfect buyer and all that kind of stuff, I do think the like mint number 1963 would do better. Now, would I probably have to wait an extremely long time to find like the perfect buyer for the price that I want? Probably. Question is, you know, if I asked right now and I publicly announced like on Twitter, like, hey, I have the 1963 mint of Spider-Man #1, I'm taking offers. I'm not sure if people would give me more than 850 gems for it. And at that case, I'd rather just have the SR because I probably could get 850 for it. That's just my thing. But if we're talking like an extreme long-term hold and Veve's a household name and 20 years from now, yeah, the 1963 mint would do better, in my opinion, because there's only one of it, right? It's like a legit one of one. So, all in all, I'd probably say the 1963 mint if I had to. Like, the extra liquidity is nice, but I'd rather just have like the extreme one of one. That's like my moon. That's going into my my moon bag, right? Of something I could just sell way later. Thought on Batman 135, step ahead of Veve in my opinion. Batman 135, step ahead of Veve in my opinion. Is that the comic? Let me see. Is that a comic or? You have to give me a bit more context, Jason, if you don't mind. Just trying to figure out like what you're saying there. Like, is that on DC Palm? I'm trying to get that figured out. Or maybe we don't have anything like that on here, do we? No, we don't. I mean, obviously, no. I'm assuming you're talking about Palm, but I could be wrong. I'm very surprised that 41s were so intensely sought by a few. I've always operated under the assumption the 240s will hit market eventually. Oh, like the 240s, like 41 and 40 was up on the assumption the 240s will hit market eventually. Yeah, I mean 41's a big deal. I mean it's the lowest public mint available, right? So I mean, people want those one of ones or those like highly exclusive or just those very rare mints. Every person's always going to find a way for their collectibles or their stuff to stand out, right? Or their set. But I do recognize 41 will always be be special in Veve. Yeah, especially if they keep that standard forever, right? That'd be cool. Oh, edition numbers 2 through 40. That is possibly. I mean, talked about it. Oh, we might use them for giveaways, but they're also to licensors. But what if licensors only have to keep it locked up for like 5 years, and then 2 years from now, we have drops from 3 years ago that all of a sudden start hitting the floor, right? We start getting Todd. Actually, Todd was an exception, but like I think they withheld much less than 90, but I do know they withheld some. But if we start seeing like Nightwing and some other like random stuff like below 41, then yeah, it's probably gonna hurt the mint 41 holders. So Captain America 34 ultra rare, only 4 in the market. 2 of them are under 40 gems. Crazy. Yeah. Let's see here. I think we looked at that the other. Thought we looked at that the other day. Ultra rare. That's zombie. This one? No. Oh, okay. It's a comic. Sorry. I just saw Captain America and I just like ran with what you were saying. Let's just do number 34. Oh, this one? Yeah, this one's not even ultra rare. I mean, technically now there's just 3. Yeah, it's scarce because it's not sold out in the store. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, once these 2 get bought and people see a $5,000, it'd be kind of funny just to see it, right? Someone buys these 2 up and then all of a sudden, like, price goes up by, I don't know how much percentage that is, but by a lot. You know, it goes up by, was that 2,000%? No, less than that. Something like that. Probably easily in the high hundreds or like low thousands of percent of increase. So people are like, "Well, this is worth 5,000 gems." Like, no, that's just the floor right now. It's kind of funny to see this, but you see this a lot with comics, just in general. I mean, we were just looking at it earlier, right? Like ultra rare comics. There's actually quite a few of them, probably just because there's way higher mints of the old school ones. But you look here, I would say most, but 80 to 90% of the ultra rare comics just across the board all have either very low double digits, so like 10 to 13 on market, or single digit. Like you can see here, it's like 8, 14, 9, 9, 8, 6, 9, 9, 11, 7. I kind of wish there was a way you could organize this by, I know it's pretty niche, but organize this by amount listed, or like how many listings are on that market listings. Maybe you can. Oh, there we go. Okay, this is out of date. It says there's 5, but regardless, like, yeah, these are all 5 mints, not 5 mints, but like 5 on the floor. There's 5 on the floor here, here, here. There's a rhino's ass on this like Tarzan of the Apes. I don't know why that's a good shot. Secret Invasion. I have this ultra rare, actually. I won this on drop. And I tried to sell it quickly and I just couldn't, so I just held it. It kind of makes me want to think, how much further does it have to go? Invasion. Still not sold out. How many are here? So 5. 17, 18, 35, 50, 150. Yeah, that goes up pretty quick. Let me zoom in one more time so you guys can see that a bit easier. Cool. All right. Probably be, not right now, but I'll be getting off here somewhat soonish. Pushing almost 2 hours on this live stream, which I don't mind doing occasionally. But once it starts kind of getting to this point, my mental faculties start kind of like giving out. Let's see. Close that. Okay, cool. What else could we talk about, dude? When Hulk? I know I brought it up like randomly on and off, but like, dude, when the hell are we gonna get Hulk? I bought this some time ago. This dropped in August. Dude, this dropped in August. September. Okay, so it's been over a month. Nothing has been said about the Hulk drop. I know last we saw Red Hulk was at like 69 gems. Red Hulk, okay, is at 75. He's below, is he below retail? I thought he was 80. Was he 60 or 80? Let's see here. It was 50, okay. So much lower than I thought. I think I bought him for 71. So double check. Again. I have to find him on here. It's over here. How much did I buy him for? Yeah, 71.71. So not in the profit. And of course, when the airdrop happens, this is gonna just completely nosedive. I've kind of learned my lesson with the Hulk drops, and that's why I'm not chasing the pencils personally. Plus, you get them. I mean, you essentially get them for free, right? When you win the drop. So Me personally, that's why I'm not chasing the desk, because I feel like I'm just gonna end up losing gems if I buy. Whoop! I did not mean to do that. What's the wow? There's actually less frozen pencils. Okay, yeah, these are at 20 still. I hate to have to like type these in each time. Tinkerbell. When are we getting the Aladdin pencils? Like it's always a week after, right? That's always when we get the pencils. Lion King. It's at 16 right now. I mean, I've said it before, like, but you can get like the whole pencil set. Let's assume Aladdin's like 20 gems. You can get the whole set for 120 gems. So if you wanted to, you could buy a desk for 120 gems, which really means that I don't know if the desk is going to stay above 120. I think it'll go below. Just kind of just crunching the numbers in my head real quick. Take a look at comics. I did go for this X Factor #1. I don't know why. I was just like, you know what, screw it. We got Jean Grey, Cyclops, Beast, Angel, Iceman. Like, I'm gonna do it. Screw it. Going for it. Of course, got the uncommon. Now this is less than 2 gems right now. 20 gems on that. 46 gems. Let's see here. This one I think I might start stacking a bit more. X-Men #4, first appearance of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. This actually might be some ones that I Aladdin pencil set is for October 23rd. Why are they waiting a full month to give us the pencils? Usually they give us the pencils like a week, maybe 2 weeks later, but they're waiting a full month. Interesting. I feel like they're doing that. I feel like they're trying to add more stuff to the desk. Do you guys think they're trying to add more to the desk? Like add more utility, give it more stuff? Or do you feel like the desk is done, but they're just delaying it for the sake of it? I have no idea. It just seems weird that they're releasing the pencil like a full month later. It seems a bit weird. Because I think what they don't want to do is drop the pencil a week later and people have the pencils. People are already, including myself, are already like not upset, but just like disgruntled that it's like, all right, I got the set. When are we getting the airdrop, right? And I think people don't want to feel that way about 2 different sets of collectibles, including the pencil. So they're just like, oh, we're going to drop the pencil a month later. Okay, then when that airdrops a week later, now you can start minting the desk. So I'm not sure. Anthony, what's up, dude? Uncanny X-Men 94 is a great comic to stack as well. I think I know which one you're talking about. Is that the one with the Colossus chucking some person? Oh no, this one. Yeah, I actually bought, dude, I minted 10 of these on drop. I was fortunate enough to get a SR on drop, but I did get a nice little soft stack of these. Yeah, that is one I went, I was like, all right, this is the first comic and story that kind of kicked off the whole like new X-Men, you know, as we know them now. Where is it? Uncanny X-Men. Yeah, they're all right here. So 5 common, I minted 10. So I got 5 commons, rare, secret rare, ultra rare, and then 3 uncommons. You know, I think I grabbed this kind of high. Yeah, I grabbed this for 30. Now it's worth 16. You know, it happens. I didn't think it was gonna stay super high, but I just knew it was a comic I wanted to go after. I do think X-Men 129, it's kind of slept on. I know the mint numbers are kind of high, but this is the first appearance of Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost, which it would surprise me if they did not show up in like the new X-Men movies / show in the future. I think this is another good one to kind of go after. Do want to get more. I have 6 of these Phoenix ones. I kind of bought more of these because I thought Veve was actually going to burn them alongside the God, not Donald Duck, but Howard the Duck. Remember they burned like those like 2 or 3 collectibles. I thought they were going to burn comics as well, but they still haven't. We're getting to the point now where it's been like 7 months since they've done a comic burn. It's weird because when they announced the comic burns, they burned it, in November. Then they did another burn in January, and I don't think they've done another one since then. So, kind of sucks. I really hope Marvel brings back burning comics. So that's my take. Let's see here. I landed this on drop. How much is, what's the floor on this now? 36. I got the ultra rare of Dazzler. I tried to sell her at 50 because I knew the run up was going to be temporary. You know, people are like, oh my God, Taylor Swift, buy them all. And I'm like, all right, this happens every time. Something announced, something on Twitter, social media, whatever, something pumps up on Veve. In my personal opinion, that's the time to sell, because 99 times out of 100, it goes back down. So yeah, I think they're figuring out the desk thing. Yeah, obviously we have no basis or no proof of it, but it just seems weird that the last pencil they're dropping a full month later. And there's a lot of talk, and I think I said it before, but it's like, I think, you know, they announced way ahead of time that, hey, you're going to be getting an animated desk, or just a desk, right? And it even said at the very bottom of the very first Veve article that, like, hey, this is subject to change. Like the names can change, the names of like the sets can change, the collectibles can change, like anything could change about it, including the desk, right? So I think they're just kind of right now working like diligently, like just kind of listening to the community, getting ideas like, okay, cool, what if we did something with the pencils along with it and blah, blah, other than burning, right? But if you did connect the pencils with the desk, would it animate or do something? I don't know. So I do think they're kind of buying a bit more time with that. So we'll see. That Uncommon Scarlet Witch comic is dope as fuck. I agree. Do I have one? I don't think so. I don't have one, but I do want to get one. If I just put Uncanny number 4, would that work? Well, not 2 4s. Yeah, this one is really cool with Scarlet Witch on there. I remember when this was announced, I think it was when, I don't remember which, I think it was Multiverse of Madness or something like that. Someone made an announcement and be like, hey, did you guys forget that Scarlet Witch is on the cover of her first appearance like comic? And people were like, oh my God. I remember the price like pumped a ton on that. Like this one. Let me actually pull it up really quick. So Uncanny X-Men number 4. There it is. We'll do uncommon. Gotta put the dash. Uncanny X-Men number 4. This one. There was like a massive run up on that. This is actually another comic I do want to grab. I think it was, where was it? It was a long time ago. 2022. I think it was around here. It just did like a really, I don't want to say random run up, but it did. Yeah, it was like at 50 gems. I feel like it was around here. Maybe it was last year. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like misremembering. Not that important now. I feel a big announcement is coming from Veve to get ready for the Santa rally coming up, and markets, just a feeling. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the market's always kind of, when they announce 14 days of Veve, right? Is it 14 or 15 days? I think it's 14 days of Veve, which is the Christmas Santa thing, right? I feel like there's always like a massive sell-off of collectibles because people are trying to get enough liquidity to buy whatever they're offering during those 14 days. And typically Veve usually gives, usually it's like one really big FA. Let's see here. Yeah, usually it's like one really big FA or like first appearance. We flip it this way. I'm trying to just think like what's the best way to find like anything and everything that's like dropped during Christmas. Further, hold on. It's kind of like a ridiculous way to go about it, but I feel like there's usually like a pretty big sell-off during that time. And then after Christmas and everyone has a bunch of liquidity, they didn't buy what they want or they didn't win any drops, then they buy stuff. So I do think after 14 days is usually when stuff runs up, or towards the tail end of it. I think when people realize the last couple days, like 2 to 3 days of like 14 days of Veve, if there's no big announcements happening, people just buy up random stuff or stuff that they missed. feel like I went back too far. Maybe I didn't. No. This was during San Diego Comic-Con of last year. Okay. All right, so I went too far. Whatever. I don't know. Trying to find like the Christmas drops. What dropped over Christmas last year? None of these things. Oh well. I will get to Omi millionaire status soon. I'm so far I'm 2/3 of there, slowly DCAing. Yeah. Yeah, I think in order to become an Omi millionaire at these current prices, I think you need to put in about $800, but that doesn't include, you know, moving it from like Cash App and those fees, but the fees aren't too bad. But yeah, it's probably about $900 to become like an Omi millionaire after fees and everything is said and done. Maybe a little bit less, probably $850, I would say. Because I bought more since then, but I remember when I took my screenshot and put it up on Twitter, and that tweet got actually like over 100 likes. I was surprised how popular that got. My Twitter, oh there it is. Kind of surprised how many likes that got. This one right here says, I'll be honest, yeah, so right now it's like 1.25 million Omi is about $1,000. At least that's what it was back when I bought it, right? I think it's actually a tiny bit cheaper now than what I bought it, but it says, I'll be honest, there was a live stream, Doctor of Stuff and Crypto Rain, you know, with Omi. I put the link in there, but this has over 100 likes. I was kind of surprised, and 20 comments. Obviously I commented on a lot of it. Look at that, there's Execu Speak, let's go. But I was surprised, this had like over 100 likes. Most of my posts do not get that, usually, especially when I'm posting about random stuff. Like this, these are some of my more popular ones when I get like 39, but most of the time it's like 4, 2, you know, whatever, 20, because I was buying these. This was my spec place. It's a bit of a spec buy, but I'm grabbing some of these comics now for cheap. This was during the time when Veve announced, or I should say technically Marvel announced, they were burning Howard the Duck and then a couple other collectibles. And these were all still in the store, pretty popular. All of them have decent FAs like Rocket Raccoon, Star-Lord. And this is just a storyline X-Men one about the death of Phoenix. So you're misremembering that Scarlet Witch did boost super high for a few hours. Yeah, whatever that was. And I don't know if you guys, I don't know how long you guys been in Veve, but do you guys remember? It was sometime in 2021. Someone talked about it. I don't think it was like Sleeping Comics or anything like that, but there was a fundamental shift, if you guys remember, where uncommon comics were still going more than common comics, right? That's how it was for a while. Like, still common comics were going for less than uncommon because there's just strictly scarcity. But there was like a series of tweets or just kind of like just general talk amongst the community. I don't know if it was a series of videos or what, but people were like, wait, the common should be more because it's the classic cover. And the uncommon is this kind of weird black and white version of it. And like if people were to join the platform and they like the classic cover, they're going to buy the common, not the uncommon. And then ever since then, with some very, very few exceptions, the uncommon has always been less than the common, like no matter what, even though it usually has like a third of the scarcity or a third of the mints. Ever since then, it's always been commons are more than the uncommons. Like I said, there's some very rare exceptions, and that's usually only because the uncommons have an exclusive cover. You know, something like this, right? Where this one has Scarlet Witch, this one doesn't, so it's less. So unless it has like an uncommon exclusive cover and it's like really unique, then more often than not, usually the common is more than the uncommon. I mean, Santa Rally and macro markets, yeah, that makes sense. Disney made Veve announce Disney Golden Moments before Santa Rally. That's true, that was in October, so around that time. But cool, guys, I'm gonna get off here in a couple minutes unless you guys have some like burning questions or anything you guys want to talk about or know about. So Right, scroll down on this. Hello. You mentioned a long time ago that we're going to be able to rent our collectibles plus comics. Do you have any thoughts on that? Why would someone want to rent our comics? Not so much the comics. It would need utility, right? There might be a small chance that someone wants to rent it and then use it in certain places that they're visiting or whatever, like a comic shop. I don't know really off the top of my head why someone would rent a comic. Collectibles I would understand, because you want to take pictures, or you're going to Disneyland and you want to rent a Golden Moment Elsa for $5, you know, for the weekend, or $10, whatever. So there's a lot of people that would do that, right? So that part I could understand. Or if it came with actual like utility involving Disneyland, but this is way in the future, and it's unlikely, not impossible, but unlikely that Golden Moments are going to retroactively get utility. But as for renting, I don't know, you know, especially if there's gamification with certain stuff. But like, I don't know. I think the renting might be more valuable in like the Veveverse aspect, especially if it's like a really rare something, right? If you could take a picture of yourself with the SR Miles or Walt or something like that. I don't know. Comics, I will be honest, I'm kind of a hard time imagining that, unless there's some like absurd utility that happens, but I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah, people hyped the comments for sure. It changed things. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it was any singular person, but there was just kind of a shift in the community, or maybe there's a group of people that just kind of said, yeah, comments should be worth more. So. Comic would be a perfect ticket to access a Web3 experience, so renting could work. Yeah, exactly. In the form that they're currently in right now, there's no reason to like really rent a comic, especially since I think you can. Let me see here. Especially since you can do this. I don't own the Yoda comic, but okay, I guess you can only read the first few pages. You can't read the whole thing. Yeah, it only shows you the first few pages, but okay. I could have sworn I thought someone said like you could like read the entire comic. I'm like, then what the hell's the point of owning the whole comic? But I think it only shows you like the first 6 pages or whatever. Other than that, unless there's some cool utility or some animation or some other thing, like you said, or a ticket, that would be really cool. The big debate was low mints versus comment. The big debate was low mint comments versus the boring mint SRs for future desirability. I'm not a big mint guy, mostly just because it's a game I can't afford to play. Like people that mess with mint numbers, you're in it for the long haul, like at that point. And that's like liquidity that's tied up. And of course you want to have a premium for it. That's why you buy it, right? It's like, I'm buying this unique mint number so someone else can buy it. Either you're just a hardcore collector, or someone else, you think that someone else is going to pay a higher premium in the future when it does get more popular or whatever. The only thing I have that actually went out of my way to buy specifically for the mint number is, let's see if I can find it here. I bet a lot of you guys know what it is, but the only one I went out of my way to buy was this mint number 777 Gambit, just because it's, you know, the lucky number and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be honest, I paid 100 for it. Way too much, but I do like Gambit. I do think it'd be a cool mint number. It is what it is, whether I never sell it or if someone does offer me a bunch of money for it later. But I do think it's like close enough and it makes enough sense with the Gambit character. So that's the only time ever I've gone for it, and that's part of the reason why, is because I felt like it made enough sense to me. I feel like there's a lot of people that let me just pause the music. I'm gonna get off here in a minute anyway. But I feel there's a lot of people that go for like random mint numbers that just don't make sense. You know, it's like 663. They're like, well, the character is you know, this, you know, in the 6th season he did this, and it was like number 63. It's like, okay, that's too far-fetched. That's never going to be a thing. But I can see comics as a way to get whitelisted into certain stuff, events, activities. That would be really cool. That would be awesome. Or I think what's more likely to happen if they do add utility is eventually when they do add comic burning, if they do say, hey, burn 50 of a comic or 10 or whatever it is, or burn a whole set of a comic, now you get a new comic, and that's the one that gets you whitelisted. So people are incentivized to like complete sets, or maybe to buy multiples of the comic and burn, you know, 20 of them. to get that comic, and that's the ticket that gets you into other things. So it's like buying the comics is the gateway to get the ticket for other things. So special mint numbers have exponential upside over floor mints. It's all speculation. Exactly. I mean, I bet I just bought that off the fact that like I saw it. I'm like, this kind of makes sense. Whatever, I'll buy it. And at the time, I think the floor of Gambit was going for probably 20 gems, maybe a bit more at the time. I'm trying to remember what the price was going for at the time. It was like 5 times the floor, which is, you know, a bit high, but it's a unique mint number. And I feel like most people that are Gambit fans would understand the concept of like, okay, 777 could be a unique mint number for Gambit. And if not, then whatever, I'll just keep it. So especially after burning is enabled. Yep, exactly. But cool, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to jump off the stream now. We've been streaming for the better part of, I think just shy of 2 hours at this point. Let's see here. Yeah, pretty much almost exactly 2 hours up into the minute. So I hope you guys take care. Is there anyone else streaming right now or anything else going on? Let me see here. Let's see. See, Randy is live streaming. Sorry for the sound here. Bear with me. Actually, can I mute this? Perfect. Yeah, go check out Randy. He's live streaming right now. I don't know what he's talking about. It says something about Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. But go check him out. Thanks for stopping by. Slavs, Mark D, LBM Bats, everyone else, thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys take care, and please double and triple check all of your listings so you don't screw yourself over. And I'll